And with the second longest first set of the tournament, Rafael Nadal 7-5 over Novak Djokovic. Chris McKendry with Brad Gilbert. As you'd expect from a couple of great champions, they're both very good front runners, Brad. In 25 of their previous 29 meetings, whoever won the first set stayed out in front and took the match. So you looked for a tone to be established early on.
There's no doubt about it. And what really surprised me about Djokovic tonight, he came out very frustrated, very agitated. 2 games into the match, you know, he changed the racket. When he got broken there, you saw him smash the racket. You saw him complaining quite a bit. And just, I didn't see this coming. He held up his racket a lot. And I think that really helped Rafael Nadal play his game. And the one thing that I really saw from Nadal, and I wanted to see tonight, I kept calling for it, Rafa go more to the Djokovic forehand. Stay away from that backhand. Watch him set up the point here to the forehand. This is what he does so well. Open up the court, and then that amps him up. That's his shot. Look at him doing great work to the forehand. I actually feel like I was sitting up here. I felt like he could do quite a bit more of it. And watch once again, sets it up and does good work with the forehand. I feel like that's a shot that's got to be in his arsenal. And the one shot that really surprised me most from Djokovic, only won 57% of his first serve points. That was an unusual number.
All right, second set is underway. Chris and Patrick.
Thank you, Chris. That was despite having 4 aces. You're right. If he didn't win the point quickly with an ace, the percentage was even lower. But that forehand Brad talked about, kissing the line, so it's a 30-love lead.
Big temptation here also for Novak Djokovic is to look at the clock. They've played 1 hour and 23 minutes for a 7-5 first set, so he has to resist that temptation to finish points too quickly.
That's a bad idea, Darren, to not.
I think so.
Still be willing to grind.
Yeah, that's the example, that slice that gets Nadal in trouble. You see him take a little practice swing there. He sits there. He's got to get more on that. Otherwise, he is allowing Djokovic to take control of the point pretty easily.
Yeah, if you were to chart the slice backhands, and Novak can run around and hit a forehand, Rafa's going to win very few of those points. Rare serve and volley from Djokovic. Each of these guys have done that like a handful of times in the whole tournament.
That was for Rod Laver.
Nadal clumped 3 serve and volley plays together in one match against Lachko. He did one other serve and volley the entire tournament coming in here, and Novak a couple times the whole tournament. He may put that away for a while now.
I don't think, yeah. It's probably not going to decide this match.
Good 40-15, didn't cost him. So you're saying the temptation is when you look at the clock and you see, oh boy, we played a long time and I'm a set behind. I got to catch up and sort of lose your patience, you think?
I think that Djokovic is very, very good at managing his body and managing the tempo of the match. So I don't think I think he's feeling it a little bit in his legs, but I think he can fight through that, and I think he'll play the grinding long points when he has to. I don't think he's going to think I'm going to wear down Nadal, because Nadal is fresher coming into this. Now he has in the past, the last couple times they played, but I don't see that happening tonight. I don't think he can look at the clock and say, hey, if I can get it to 3.5, 4 hours, I've got this one. He knows he's going to execute his game.
And this is a big game also for Rafa, because he made the point that Andy Murray made a mistake early games of the 4th set when he was up 2-1. And Rafa's just won a physical first set. You know he's going to come out here fighting hard. Big intensity.
He really felt that even though Murray battled back to 5-all in the 5th, he threw away his chance at the win by letting up after gaining the lead. Rafa hasn't exactly been able to step on Novak's throat with the lead. That was what the problem was in those Indian Wells and Miami matches that turned the entire year. We've talked about them. Won the first set, a long grinding tiebreak set. Gave up the break early in the second and got in a hole.
It was the first double fault of the match right there.
There's 2 bad ball tosses in a row.
Would that be is a wind factor now?
It's calmed down again a bit, Patrick. It comes in fits and spurts. But he's certainly playing with a small breeze, but it sort of shoots in here and then disappears.
To me, that opening set, Chris, reminds me a lot of the opening set in the Nadal-Federer match, where Federer got off really quickly. Nadal was struggling, but Nadal worked his way into that set. And even though he lost it, he felt confident and felt some momentum. I feel the same way now. That Djokovic started really poorly, pretty slow and sluggish. He worked his way back, almost won the set, but I feel like he's more comfortable now than he was in the beginning of the match, even though he's a set down. Starting to play, I feel, more at his tempo now, and his footwork is getting a little bit better. Saw him just before the previous point sort of bouncing around, trying to get those feet moving. He's been a little off rhythm with his footwork. There's another example there. He's kind of reaching. You got to give Nadal credit. He's mixed things up, but normally a 77-mile-an-hour second serve is not going to be missed that wildly by Djokovic.
But I like your parallel, and they can draw each guy. Rafa against Roger, Novak against Nadal. The fact that their regular game plan is a proven commodity. They know they can rely on their game plan to get them back in the match. Forehands were hitting the line in the first set. It's easier to say, don't take your foot off the gas. Don't let him grab momentum. But against a guy this tough, Nadal's in danger of doing just that.
Now that double fault was a killer.
Long conversation with himself. Djokovic just smacked his thigh with his hand there. Still has a break point. 5 exchanges in that rally. Big forehand turned it around.
Yes, terrific stuff there. Nadal again goes for an aggressive shot there. Continues to change the direction with his backhand. He talked about that in one of his press conferences, how well Djokovic does that, can constantly change the direction of the ball. He did it twice in a row to win that point. This would be a huge hold for Nadal to get out of this service game.
Djokovic caught leaning to his right, beaten by a 108-mile-per-hour ace. Looks like the breeze is kicking up.
At the start of the match, we asked the boys in the ESPN truck to start charting every time Rafa went to a slice backhand how often he would win those points. So we'll find that out for you after a couple of sets.
If the wind is still at his back, that's a tougher shot to control. And it looked like it was picking up before that point.
And the reason why we obviously asked to chart that particular statistic is we didn't think it was a great thing for Rafa to do, to go to the slice backhand when he has an option. And this looks good.
Djokovic satisfied it didn't catch the line. Nadal digs out of a pair of break points. 1-all. That's why Djokovic didn't use the challenge. So the first little test of this second set answered by Nadal.
Yeah, again, mixing up his serve well. He's never going to hit a ton of aces, but he's getting the most out of his serve so far tonight.
Nadal's defensive skills allow him to just kind of reset the point, but Djokovic quickly pouncing.
That's the shot that Djokovic usually really hurts Nadal with, when he can step in, and I believe that's his first backhand winner straight down the line. You see that opening there because Nadal's protecting in the forehand corner. You can see Djokovic try that play a lot more.
The biggest edge that you think Djokovic has on the ground strokes, the backhand up the line? That particular play is a tough one for Rafa.
It's a tough one for him to defend because Djokovic can go both ways. He can go cross court too. I don't think there's really one shot. It's just
you think the backhand is clearly
no,
superior?
I think it's better, but
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't think there's one. It's not one shot from Djokovic that is what's causing Nadal trouble.
No, I didn't mean that. I just meant
that's his definitely that's a better shot from Djokovic.
Well, Novak's playing very quickly.
He's done that a couple times tonight. Had to change the tempo. These guys can be two of the slowest players Not during the point. They're two of the fastest. But between points,
yes,
they will trample on the 20 seconds you're allowed between points big time.
No. Yeah, that's
often.
They don't even pay attention to that. I mean, not the players don't, but the officials don't.
No.
Djokovic playing quickly again. This is a dangerous moment for him to do it at 1-all, 30-all, and set down. What's the average time? Look at that. Djokovic 31 seconds, Nadal 35.
The clock is being started the minute the previous point ends, which is what the rule states. Some chair umpires will enforce it a lot differently than that.
It has to be the softest rule in tennis. We can't even call it a rule until the umpires start enforcing it.
Yeah, it's in the book.
It's like a guideline.
Right.
Even the soft warnings are so rarely given, much less a point penalty.
Yeah, and they're usually given quietly on a changeover.
Mm-hmm. And then ignored after that. Set two. If you're up early or up late watching this final line, we thank you for that. Grab a little sleep. And then on Sunday, ABC's got the Bulls and the Heat at 3:30 Eastern Time. Kia NBA Countdown gets you started a half hour before that. Then it's over to ESPN Sunday evening for the Spurs and the Mavs. Djokovic able to keep the scoreboard pressure on Nadal. He had a very tough opening service game of the second set. Now serves at 1-2.
Thank you. Take your seat, please. Thank you.
So this is Nadal serving into a slight breeze, and this should be the last game of the ball cycle. So if Darren's report is accurate, perhaps a little tougher to hit through the court in this game.
Net. First service.
Nadal could take even more time in this game, you know, searching for the newest balls.
Djokovic would like to see happen a lot more often, where he's on top of the baseline and he's got Nadal pushed back. And that high kicking ball doesn't bother him at all. And to your point, Chris, about the balls now being in the last game, they're not jumping as much, so they're not kicking up as high. They're a little easier to control when you go after it on the forehand like that.
yield court position there.
15-0.
And going after his backhand, which is something that he knows he has to do. And part of the reason he tinkered with his racket in the offseason, get a little bit more weight on it to try to get this ball with a little more juice on it.
3 grams can make a difference. It's a big difference.
If it does in your head, that's all that counts.
The head is where it's heavier.
Yeah.
They get the tape up there.
I mean the head of the player. Yeah. But maybe both. What a backhand right there.
Well, Chris, that's enough of this running. That is a sign of growing confidence when he leans on it. That's been the practice court emphasis in the offseason. Right there, that kind of cut. Just clearing the net at 98.
That's huge. I mean, it's rare to see a ball over 100 miles per hour off a forehand.
Mm-hmm.
He had a 98 off a backhand. That was everything he had.
And not wanting to yield court position, which you talk so much about. He's going to have misses like that because that return's getting up on him.
That's right. He's trying to
it's a gamble.
Force himself to take the ball early. I think it's a good play. Make some more errors, but you'll be on the offense more often.
Overhitting that one, and Djokovic with his 3rd break point in this set. So few comfortable service games for Nadal. Maybe 1 in the match.
Out. Nadal in the corner on the right service line. Ball was cut out.
Djokovic was pretty sure it was long.
Second serve.
Great point. 2nd serve now. In that rally.
That brought a smile to the face of Rod Laver, and there was also some applause. The Rocket applauding that.
Small margins decide these things. Djokovic clipping the tape, but it comes over. And Nadal trying to will this one long, but Djokovic now trying to wrestle back. Momentum in this match, up 3-1. And so now new balls for Djokovic. Now they are flying. You see as big a difference. Ball change in this match as we've seen the entire tournament.
Yeah, the humidity definitely part of it.
Is that a feeling though that last game in the ball cycle into the breeze, that might be things playing in Nadal's mind as he goes to serve?
Also, the guys are changing the position of the roof. I mentioned probably about 30 minutes ago that it was fully open. Now it looks like it's closed up a little bit again, so maybe some T-storms on the way.
Haven't had to use the roof the entire tournament.
Do you think, Darren, that by closing the roof partially that it affects the wind in this arena?
I thought it did when it was really humid, but now it's not so bad. It's the wind's coming through here and it's whistling around a little bit, so I don't think it changes these conditions all that much.
Beautiful backhand from Nadal.
I think they may have closed the roof for the last set of the mixed doubles today, Chris.
There was a few raindrops. I wasn't really counting the mixed doubles, Darren, but thank you for clarifying. Paddock Sands and Takao took home that trophy, if you're out there wondering who won that, over Pays and Vesnina. Big hitting. Kind of point that propelled him to the dominant #1 last year.
Nadal's ball's landing too short there. Djokovic picks his spot, finds his target, with that forehand up the line.
Djokovic stretches it. 4-1.
Djokovic leads 4-2.
Welcome back to the Australian Open 2012, presented by Franklin Templeton Investments.
It's quite windy tonight outside. You can see the trees. This is a fairly protected arena. If this match were at Arthur Ashe Stadium, the wind would be a huge factor. Make it very tough on the players, but because the design of this arena, plus of course the roof, which is closed more than it typically is, the wind only a minor inconvenience so far. But that wind could signal the approach of thunderstorms.
Yeah, that would be another wrinkle. If that happened, then the roof would have to close and have a little bit of a delay. Djokovic now to maybe take a couple of those big cuts he likes to take to save some energy. He's got a break.
That's just an ideal point for Djokovic right now. He will make Nadal burn fuel. He'd love to make this 6-1 set, quick set. Reset for the third and have his opponent drain some fuel in the process.
Djokovic and on the left outside. Ball was calling.
Just missed. Wow. Nice challenge.
Second serve.
Give you some other results. The Bryan brothers were dethroned down here in the doubles final. 38-year-old Leander Paes playing some great tennis, and Radek Stepanek, his partner, preventing the Bryan brothers from winning their 12th major title together, which would have broken the record of the Woodies, the great Australian pair.
New team in Paes and Stepanek. Much cleaner tennis from both players, but especially Djokovic in this second set. In the first set, he made 19 unforced errors, Chris. In this set, Djokovic has made just 4.
It's a little bit of the play, though, that Roger Federer made when he came in on the Nadal forehand side. Tough ball there, and Novak actually handled that pretty well. Hit a nice approach shot.
I think Roger regrets that, Darren, all those forehand passes by Nadal.
Well, it's his favourite shot. It goes to a right-hander's backhand normally, so it's his more comfortable shot. But I definitely think he would have made more progress taking a lot of those to the Nadal backhand. You have to go to Nadal's forehand to open up the court. Once you open it up, I think there's much more progress than hitting the next one to the backhand.
Djokovic leads 4 games to 2.
As what you mentioned, Patrick, much cleaner. Djokovic already with 7 winners in the set. But it's been cleaning up the air is a bigger story. I mean, he wasn't going to panic losing the first set, even though it took an hour and 20 minutes. The amazing calm of this guy that he's learned, developed in his career. That's why he's a top.
Yeah, that used to get him in a lot of trouble, and in a lot of these big matches and in 5-set matches.
He'd find ways to get agitated.
Very close. Djokovic in the court on the right service line. Ball was called out.
Even when he won this title in 2008, beat Song in the final, he was battling himself, battling the crowd, annoyed that they were cheering for Song, not him. And the difference last couple years. Total maturity.
What he saw was who's ahead of him, and this guy Nadal and that other guy Federer, and so he realized that was a big part that he needed to improve, that element of his game.
What a tough ball by Nadal, hooking it short, a great angle.
That is an amazing shot from Rafa.
Love 15.
Defense to offense.
And he gets so low when he's stretched out on that backhand, and then look at the hook he gets on that ball. Djokovic almost pulled that off.
Andy Murray's on the way to learning that kind of calmness and maturity, judging by what we saw at this
I
tournament.
think he took a huge step forward here. Huge step forward.
He believes he's closed the gap on the other three.
He's closer. He's closer. Yes.
A couple points here and there. He could have dethroned Djokovic in that semifinal. He was both gutted but also really encouraged, proud of his effort. He won't go away, he swears, after this Australian Open the way he has after the last couple.
Amazing intensity from Rafa, isn't it? In the previous game, a 4-1 down. Got down in that service game. Very easy to drop the intensity, but this guy never does. Not for 1 second.
Couple of misses in this game, making it a comfortable hold so far for Djokovic.
And Djokovic wasn't getting too many of those cheap points on his serve in the opening set. 2 hours and we're not even done with the second set.
But Djokovic is closing in and winning this second set. 5-2. Nadal with a 2-5 hole. And once again, as reinforced Patrick, if he just takes his foot off the gas, drops a forehand short in the court, like that point, he will pay the price.
Yeah. Djokovic has the ability to create a little easier power off both wings, and Nadal has to really throw himself at the ball, and he's got to keep reminding himself, Nadal, that he has to be offensive and aggressive. It's a different dynamic for him in this matchup than against any other player. But the beautiful thing about Nadal is that he loves that. He loves that challenge. He said, this is what sport is about. This is what it's about. It tests himself.
Talked about that yesterday. He was, I think, by instinct a chaser, a pursuer. He was #1, obviously, in 2010, but for the majority of his career, chasing down Federer. And I think he is sort of equating that chase now. It gives him a reason to go back, work hard in the practice court, improve things. But this is sort of the first test of that theory in 2012.
Yep.
Anybody explode forward to make a volley faster than Nadal?
When he recognizes that opening, here's a great look at it. Another good backhand from him, steps into it, and watch how quickly he sees Djokovic is out of position. And he is on top of the net when he finishes his volley off. Talk about coming forward with some conviction. just that easy power I was talking about from Djokovic, and it's a rhythm, it's a timing that he has. Take a pretty easy swing, and the ball just explodes off his racket, and he burned Nadal quite a few times with returns like this. Good depth, ball on him in a hurry.
A desperation slice from Nadal, but well done.
First service.
Oh.
Nadal, I think, felt the serve was long. You don't do that often. Djokovic says, come on, he did it a little late.
He can do that. He can do that. Yeah, but he feel the ball is out.
He's challenging his own serve.
Yeah. He just catch the line. Djokovic didn't think he could do that after the
Nadal has one
return
challenge
when hit. Didn't matter. By definition, you would never challenge your own serve called good unless the winner's hit by you, right? I mean,
Right.
what in the world?
All right, why else would you challenge it?
That just didn't feel good. I'm gonna challenge the call. Nadal scrapping to try to stay in this set. Force Djokovic to serve it out. Trying to finish it right here.
Nadal's still serving well, but Djokovic has now picked up his return. I mean, this is a great serve, swinging wide, good angle on it. But look at Djokovic, you're starting to read it. Takes it early, that's just too good. And the body serves, which have been a good play for Nadal, are starting to come back.
How good is that left wrist in that backhand return?
There's another one.
I saw that stat there. This is the nightmare beginning to relive itself for Nadal from the U.S. Open when he won barely half of his first serve points, which is a shocking stat. But that's the reality of this second set so far, which Djokovic can grab right now.
Yes.
I like your point, though. Win or lose this game, Djokovic is sending a strong message that I'm all over your serve, and that every hole is going to be a struggle.
He's starting to get some really good cuts in on his returns, and Nadal did well there to handle another good one. You see that first serve percentage is pretty good, but it's the conversions that are low. Barely over 50% on the first serve.
Djokovic leads 5 games to 3.
Djokovic has lost only 7 points in his service games this set. Nadal, of course, hasn't had a break opportunity.
I do think, though, Nadal sent the same message as well, Chris. The guy could have easily thrown in a couple of loose points with all that pressure Novak was putting on him, but he kept it tight, kept up great intensity. He's still there. He survived.
Laser-like efficiency from Djokovic.
And this breeze has picked up again.
Drop back to take a big cut badly.
Yeah,
missed that one.
Mistimed it.
Clinical executions in this game, trying to level this final at a set apiece. He's got a couple of set points.
Backhand up the line. Great defense from Nadal. And Djokovic forces Nadal to come up with that backhand pass from way deep in the backhand corner.
nothing, really.
Yeah.
2 set point save.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
There's no playing the score after Rafael Nadal. He just continues to play every point like it's match point. Still in this set.
You can apply some pressure on Djokovic if you can take this point. Risky play with a drop shot and not his best.
No, it was not a great drop shot, but he got away with it. He set up the point beautifully with that forehand up the line. And Djokovic actually had a couple of options and just stayed inside the line there. Good anticipation by Nadal.
His first break point of the second set.
Yeah,
well backed, and so little flinch from Djokovic with a chance to close it out. We're back on serve. See how resolute Rafael Nadal can be. A lot of players, with the way Djokovic had played that second set, leading 5-2, would have not believed they could claw back. It also has to hold in this game, which has been very tough to get back even.
Well, Darren nailed it. I mean, he could, and Nadal, knows that if he can somehow scrape out this set, even though he's really been outplayed most of this set, all of a sudden he's up 2 sets and he's big time in the driver's seat.
No reaction from Djokovic. The calm that Darren mentioned, evident again in that changeover.
A smart non-challenge from Nadal, because there was a lot of calling out from the crowd in the middle of that point, but Nadal smartly just played the point out. He kind of took a quick look down.
He had to make a very quick decision, didn't he?
And we've seen players make mistakes, particularly on that line that's right in front of him.
But he also kept his focus on the point.
Trying to swing it into the body, but Djokovic able to get out of the way of it pretty comfortably. big cut at that return.
Out.
What a return.
15-13.
Cat, he just jumped right up in the air and took that forehand cut. Paid the price for any subpar second serve, and even good serves were being dealt with easily by Djokovic a lot of the time. You noted the body serve tactic, and it was catching Djokovic off guard, it looked like, but boy, isn't it dangerous if you miss your spot on that. You don't get it into the body. It's a very hittable forehand.
It is, but he's getting enough on it. It's more dangerous on the second serve when you spin it in, but he's getting enough juice on that first serve. There's another one. Still a good tactic, and you saw Uncle Tony closing his eyes there. He really can fall their way back to 5-all here. That would just be huge.
Nadal a point away.
Overruled by
Pascal Maria, and now Nadal probably will challenge the overrule.
You have one challenge.
He's lost the spot.
Nadal, he challenged the call on the right baseline. Ball was calling.
Yeah, he had turned and walked away, so he wasn't sure which mark was on the baseline. And chair umpire makes an overrule. You better be right, and he was barely. You said this guy's one of the best in the world, Patrick.
Yeah, he's solid.
Great job so far.
Yeah, he's done a great job tonight.
Sure has. Just 82 on that serve. You knew it wouldn't be easy, this service game.
No. To go into the forehand corner with that forehand, but Djokovic just read it. And that was just a monster backhand.
Correct. Play on. Not routine, but Djokovic evens this final at a set apiece.